Okay, good day. From the previous lesson, you have learned how to compute interest, maturity value, and present value in compound interest environment. And you have been able to solve problems involving compound interest, where interest is calculated or compounded annually. Sometimes, interest may be compounded more than once in a year, and that is our topic for this day. Compounding more than once a year. But before that, let me give you the learning outcomes of our lesson. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to compute maturity value, interest, and present value, and solve problems involving compound interest when compound interest is computed more than once a year. Okay? And here is our lesson outline. Number one, compounding more than once a year, the maturity value, interest, and present value when compound interest is computed more than once a year. As I've said earlier, ang natutunan natin from the previous lesson ay yung pagkuha ng compound interest na kung saan money is compounded annually. Okay? For this lesson, money or the interest rate is compounded more than once a year. Okay? Before we start in solving the present and future value of money that is compounded more than once a year, let us first define important terms. We have frequency of conversion. Ginagamit na notation is small letter m. This is the number of conversion periods in 1 year. Ano ba yon? Let us take for example, 10% compounded semi-annually for 6 years. Ano ba doon yung ating frequency of conversion? Yung word na semi-annually, doon natin ma-determine yung frequency of conversion. Since the word is semi-annually, therefore m equals 2. Okay? Okay, the frequency of conversion m is equal to 2 for this example. Next, we have conversion or interest period. This is the time between successive conversions of interest. So, ang tinutukoy dito yung time between successive conversions ng ating interest. So, let us take again the previous example. It says 10% compounded semi-annually for 6 years. So, ibig sabihin nito, yung interest will be computed every end of 6 months or every 6 months. Kasi twice a year, kukunan ng interest yung ating money. So, therefore, conversion or interest period is every 6 months. Okay? Next. Total number of conversion periods. This is for the whole term of your investment or loan. Okay? It is computed using the formula N equals MT. M is the frequency of conversion and T time in years. Okay? Again, if we have here an example, 10% compounded semi-annually for 6 years, our M is equals to 2 and our time is equal to 6. Therefore, the total number of conversion periods is the product of these two, which is 12. Okay, again, the total number of conversion periods is the product of the frequency of conversion, which is 2, and the number of years, which is 6. Therefore, the product is 12. We have total number of conversion is equal to 12. Okay? Next is the nominal rate. Yung nominal rate natin, yan yung tinatawag nating annual rate of interest. Rate sa buong, rate of interest sa loob ng isang taon. Yung M natin dito, ginagamit lang, this is not actually an exponent, ginagamit siya lamang to denote the frequency of conversion. Halimbawa, quarterly. So, nilalagyan doon ay raised to quantity 4 kasi ang ating frequency of conversion is quarterly, M equals 4. But it doesn't mean na yung ating nominal rate will be raised to 4. No, that is just used to denote the frequency of conversion. For example, 10% compounded semi-annually for 6 years. So, ang ating nominal rate is 10%. But since ang ating frequency of conversion is 2, we're going to denote that as I raised to quantity 2 equal to 10%, which is our annual interest. Again, yung ating pong I raised to 2, it doesn't mean na yung ating 10% will be raised to a power of 2. Ginagamit lang yon to denote the frequency of conversion. Means that the interest rate is compounded twice in a year. Next, rate of interest for each conversion. So the formula is I all over M, where I is the annual rate of interest, M is the frequency of conversion. Again, we have an example, 10% compounded semi-annually for 6 years. What will be the rate of interest for each conversion? Therefore, we have J equals to 0.10, which is 10% dito sa ating problem, all over 2, where 2 is frequency of conversion that is semi-annually. So therefore, every 6 months, the rate of interest is 0.05. Yan yung interest kada 6 months or interest rate for each conversion. Okay po, yung 10% annual rate of interest, yung 0.05 or 5%, that is 5% every 6 months. Okay po, since twice a year, total of 10% na annual rate of interest. 0.05 plus 0.05 is 0.10 or 10% annual rate of interest. Okay, let me give you more examples in finding the frequencies of conversion and interest rate for each period given the nominal rates or also called the annual interest rate. Okay, if we have a problem, it says 2% compounded annually, the symbol we use is I raised to quantity 1, which denotes that the interest is compounded annually equal to 0.02, which is the decimal value of 2%. The frequency of conversion is equal to 1 because it is compounded annually. The interest rate per conversion period is just the quotient of the interest or the annual interest rate and the frequency of conversion. So therefore, that is equal to 0.02 divided by 1, which is the frequency of conversion. So therefore, J, or the interest rate per conversion period, is equal to 0.02. And the conversion period is yearly, okay? Because it is compounded annually. We have second example, 2% compounded semi-annually. We use this notation, I raised to quantity 2, which denote that the rate of interest is compounded twice a year, okay? And that is equal to 0.02. Therefore, the frequency of conversion is, or will be get from the word semi-annually. Therefore, M equals to 2. For the interest rate per conversion period, all we have to do is to divide 0.02 by the frequency of conversion. So that is equal to 0.02 divided by 2, or 0.01, equal to, or 1%. The conversion period is every 6 months, okay? Because of the word semi-annually, twice a year. For the third problem, we have 2% compounded quarterly, M equals 4, and the interest rate per conversion period is 0.02 divided by 4, which is 0.005 or 5%. And one conversion period is every 3 months kasi quarterly. And that is 4 times in a year. 2% compounded monthly, or that will be I raised to quantity 12, which is 0.02. Our frequency conversion is 12, and our interest rate per conversion period will be 0.02 divided by 12, or 0.0016, or 0.16%. And one conversion period is 1 month. So every month, kinukuhaan ng interest. Kasi monthly compounded yung rate of interest natin na 2%. So ibig sabihin, 0.0016 kada month ang ating gagamiting rate of interest. Okay? We have 2% compounded daily. So the symbol we use is I raised to quantity 365 equal to 0.02. And our frequency of conversion is 365 because we're going to use 365 days in a year. And our J, or interest per rate, or rate per conversion period, is 0.02 divided by 365. And one conversion period is 1 day. Okay? Itong mga to, itong J natin, or interest rate per conversion period, just like this one, which is 1%, 1% every 6 months ang interest rate. Ito naman, 0.5% every 3 months kasi quarterly, compounded quarterly yung 2% natin. Itong 0.16% means that every month, the rate of interest will be 0.16% because the annual rate of interest is 2%. Okay? And that will be the examples in finding the frequency of conversion and the interest rate per conversion period and identifying the conversion period. Okay? Thank you. So for my next video, I'm going to show you the formula in finding the future value of money. Thank you.